Hello and welcome to another round of Modern, folks. Today we have Michael Mempson on Creativity Titan, your typical Amulet Titan deck list, against Ryan Glacken, who's playing Hammer Time. It's pretty cool. We have two players who are on pretty different... Mempson's on the same style of deck that he usually plays. Glacken is playing a different deck than he usually plays. He usually does, like, Asmaranda casting Kodakar stuff. But no, deciding to go with the Hammer Time, and he has a turn 1 Sigardizade. Hammer is a really cool and really good deck in the format. It does a lot of really cool and interesting things, including potentially killing your opponent on turn 2 with infect damage. So, and Sigardizade is very relevant for that. So he's going to turn... Alright. Does he not have a land drop? I'll play out a Shadow Spear. Rogren Triome, and... Cool, we're going to strike your wish, we're going to make a treasure. The creativity decks are really cool. So there's two different variants to my knowledge. There is the Titan version that uses Primeval Titan and Valak the Molten Pinnacle to win the game. And then there is a Emrakul version that will creativity into Emrakul the Eon's Torn and win the game via that process. And they look functionally similar to each other for the most part. There's a couple differences, like key differences, but if you don't know that the Titan variant is a deck, you know, this one just kind of looks like the Emrakul one. So Ryan's going to play out a Stoneforge Mystic and get a tutor for an artifact or equipment. Those two are like synonymous in my head at times, where I'm like, artifact, equipment, same thing. Not the same thing. Right, gotta get a Colossus Hammer. A 1-mana equipment that you can equip, I think, for 10. It's either 8 or 10, and it gives a 10-10. It gives a creature 10-10, then they lose flying. But if you use stuff like Sigardizade and Pure Steel Paladin, you don't have to pay that mana cost to equip that big ol' hammer. Now, this is a round that we streamed live on our Twitch which is AlternateUniversesLive. So if you ever want to watch any of the content as we are streaming it, we do stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Monday is Modern, Tuesday is the Digimon TCG, Friday is Paper Legacy. Then we'll stream every 1K we have, so if you see a 1K advertisement at some point, we will be streaming those events. Alright, we're going to explore. See a Valakut in his hand, and another Triome. That's Catcher Triome. The problem with the full art Triomes for me is while they look amazing, I have such a hard time distinguishing them. They look so, like, at least between Rogren and Ketria, they look so similar. I got 4 mana to 2 mana. Now, if you're curious about how the Infect kill works in the Hammer Time deck, there is a land that they play called Inkmoth Nexus, and effectively what you do is you have Sigardizade on the board, you attack with the Inkmoth Nexus, you flash in Colossus Hammer because of Sigardizade giving them flash, and then Sigardizade will automatically equip it to the Inkmoth Nexus or to a creature of your choice, and that's 10 infect damage right there. You can also, if you have another mana source, you can also reanimate the Inkmoth Nexus to give it flying, which is kind of cool. Right, just attacks in for 1 with the Stoneforge Mystic after playing a Pure Steel Paladin. Pure Steel Paladin, when you cast an equipment card, or when an equipment enters the battlefield, you draw a card, and then it has Metalcraft, you can reduce all the equip cost to 0. Alright, there's a Dwarven Mine. He's going to create a Magmar, or a Dwarf token, and then he's going to Creativity for 2, or X equals 2, paying 3 red, and 2 extra mana, to sacrifice 2 artifacts or creatures, and then he goes into his deck and finds I think it's just either 2 artifacts or creatures, and then puts them on the battlefield. Surprisingly, his only targets in the deck are Primeval Titan. Kind of getting a cute little show of what the deck has in store for us here. We found 1 Primeval Titan, which is a sick altar. You can see he's got a little Christmas hat on right there. This deck's definitely not cheap. We've seen multiple red and 6s go by. There is the other altered Primeval Titan.
I can't remember if it's any order.
They will both come in untapped, and they will have ETB triggers, so Madsen will be able to tutor for 4 lands from his deck, which means he'll be able to grab at least 1 extra copy of Valakut the Molten Pinnacle, and then some mountains to trigger the Valakuts.
I don't know why I'm shuffling. Triggers.
And if you don't know, the text line on Valakut the Molten Pinnacle says, when a mountain enters the battlefield, if you have 5 other mountains, you can have Valakut the Molten Pinnacle deal 3 damage to any target.
18 damage.
So he currently has 4. Let's see what he tutors out. So we have 2 Valakuts here.
The first one.
And then grabbing 2 mountains off the other Titan. Will let him do some shooting. Should be 18 damage he's able to do here.
The second one.
6 other mountains.
Yeah, because it'll be 3 damage per twice.
I have 18 damage to this verse.
Yep.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18.
Alright, looks like we're going to do 9 to the board and then shoot Glacken for 9s and put him at 11. I think I messed up the life totals here for a second. I think there's something that happens with the life totals.
9?
You're sending 12. Oh, 8. Wait, how much you sending my way?
So I sent it.
You sent 9 my way. So.
I killed 3 of your
Indomitable Creativity is
Yeah,
a
and
cool
then
card.
And I had 6 triggers.
Yeah, 11. There.
Like, it's
We'll go to the
cheeky,
next one, 'cause I don't know.
but it does a lot of sweet things.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think it really
Especially when
matters.
interacting with
But I
cards like
put you
Dwarven
out.
Mind and stuff.
It's obviously my first game with this deck. So,
Glack is just going to scoop it up. We're going to be going to game 2 with Mapson taking the win. We'll be right back in just a second. And we're back with game 2. We have Ryan Glacken on the play. Mapson, I believe, Multi 6. Could be wrong about that. But we're going to see a concealed courtyard into a duress.
Come on. I kept these cards for a reason.
Making a joke about keeping cards in his
all but
hand.
one of them.
Yep, definitely on a Multi 6. So we got Explore, Indomitable Creativity, and Teferi Time Raveler. One of those cards, I mean, they're all good cards, right? Like, Explore accelerates his mana base, he gets him to turn 3, or gets him to 3-4 mana a lot quicker. Teferi is Teferi. And then Creativity is effectively his win condition. Yeah, as I say, I think you just take the Creativity. He has nothing to do with his lands, you know. And Time Raveler, while good, not that great against Hammer Time.
No. We can pick up. I got everything written down.
Alright, puts the Foothills in, just passes. Probably going to fetch out a Catcher Triumph during Ryan's turn.
18.
Alright, shocking down. Oh, the Godless Shrine to 18. There's a Ingenious Smith. He gets to look at the top 4 cards of his deck, and he gets to pick an artifact. I think it's... Yeah, I think it's actually just an artifact for the Smith. But you get to pick an artifact, put it in your hand, and then during either player's turn, when you put an artifact onto the board, it gets a +1/+1/+1 counter. And that ability can only activate once per turn. But it's cool because I can't talk. But it can actually activate during your opponent's turn too. So if you flash in like a Shadow Spear or something along those lines, you can put a counter on it. I actually want to know how it works with Urza Saga and creating a construct. So I don't know if it's a cast trigger or it's an ETB. Yeah, whenever one or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control. So creating a construct with the Urza Saga should trigger that effect.
I probably should have done that.
Alright, there's a Silent Clearing. The Black-White Horizon land from Modern Horizons 1.
Yep, I
There's a
have
Pure Skill Paladin.
hate having regrets. Big regrets.
Into a Memnite. There's a Colossus Hammer. Which will then immediately get thrown onto the Ingenious Smith. That's going to be a lot of damage. That's 13, 15?
That up real bad.
I'm at 17 from tapping the clearing. Go ahead.
I got one last.
He's going to get a 5. He's going to fetch in response. grab another try. I'm going to 4.
So we'll see what I draw.
Maybe this missed it 2-2. No, he's a what? She's a 1-1. That's what I thought. 13, 14. Interesting. I don't know what Mapson could do to come back from this board state here.
We'll go to 3.
Fetch down to 3. I guess in theory, if he gets a Dwarven Mine here, makes the Dwarf and then Creativities into a Titan if he has it. I don't think it's enough.
I had this last turn, and I
Endings the
realized
hammer.
after I passed, I was like, I should have hit the Midnight in case he has.
He has a blocker. Block the Smith. So we got it. I guess a good creativity here. The Time Raveler. Oh no, because X would. You can't do X equal. Well, you can do X equals 0. It just wouldn't do anything.
You get upside if you have removal undead either way.
I think you bounce.
Pass. Ow, I draw.
I guess the only other argument for the bounce would be the Ingenious Smith, but I don't believe you would want to give your opponent a a top 4 search in their artifact-based deck. All right, Ryan's gonna fetch.
Yep.
I'll stay in there.
Play out the Paladin again. It's a Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. Probably just gonna tutor up another hammer. Is it just slightly just slightly at an angle where I can't really tell what everything in this deck is? But it looks like a pretty stock hammer list. No interesting Dark Confidants or anything like that. Grab the Shadow Spear. Looks like, yeah. Looks like Glacken's gonna be winning this game. Because if he swings out here, Maps can go to 1, but unless he has Dwarven Mine Creativity in hand, I don't know if he gets there.
Combat all at you.
Yeah, gonna attack in for 6 damage. Gonna block the big one, take 2. I don't even think untap. I don't even think Dwarven Mine into creativity gets him there. 5 lands, 6. Yeah. He wouldn't have enough Valakut triggers to kill the board, which is like the unfortunate part. Because like an untapped Dwarven Mine would create the ability to have Valakut triggers. Because you'd have 5 mountains, so you could just tutor up a Valakut and a second mountain off the Titan. But
Pass.
gonna pass. Ryan's gonna put Sound Clearing into play. Plays out the Pierce Steel Paladin.
Go to attach.
Shadow Sphere is going on the Mem Knight. Here's a Colossus Hammer. Gotta draw a card. Now we could move the hammer onto something else.
Go to attach.
Makes sense, but it's on the other Mem Knight. Yeah, so his Smith has another counter on it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah, we're gonna full send. That's gonna be game 2 going to Ryan Glacken, and we're gonna move into game 3 pretty quickly, and just here in a second.
Just right after I said pass. I had the creativity in hand too.
And we are back with game 3. Mapson's on a mulligan to 6, but he's going first this time, so I don't know, maybe he'll be able to work out. Gotta try a tap, go. Concealed Courtyard into a Colossus Hammer.
Go ahead.
Which is an interesting turn 1 play. Wonder what the rest of Ryan's hand is.
18.
Alright, we're gonna shock down to 18. It's gonna prismatic into the hammer. And we're gonna strike it rich and make a treasure token. I think there's another line of text on Strike It Rich besides just make a treasure token. Wouldn't be surprised if it didn't, though. I mean, 1 mana, create an artifact. Out of flashback. That's the other line of text, yeah. Create a treasure token, and then for 2 in a red, you can flash it back. Alright, there's a Scartazade, Urza Saga. Fetch with the Air Mesa going down to 17. Probably going a little bit lower, I would imagine. No, okay, just grab it a basic. 3 mana flashback the Striker Rich. Get another treasure token.
You can go.
Slot going to 2. What do we draw for turn? Drew the Ink Buff Nexus. Oh god.
Hate to see it.
Go ahead.
Gonna pass the turn. Let's make a construct during Madsen's turn. And as long as he has a hammer, that's probably gonna be lethal next turn. Draw. Now if he has Dwarven Mine here, that creates a 3rd permanent. He could Creativity for 2 using one of the treasures, and then get 2 Titans out. I don't think it's enough to stop. Just the unfortunate part. It's not really a way to stop the Infect kill in the deck. Besides just drawing a prismatic ending for the Artazade. Looks like he has the creativity. No, actually, I think that's a Shattering Spree. Alright, Mabson's just going to concede.
Yeah,
He's dead on board to the Ink Buff Nexus, so. Alright, folks, thanks for watching. Ryan Glacken's going to take this one 2-1 against Creativity Titan. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more Modern content. And again, if you ever want to watch us live, we stream every Monday for Modern at AlternateUniversesLive on Twitch around 7 p.m. Eastern. Other than that, thanks for watching. Bye.